ఎలా వచ్చింది ఇటుపక్క అడ్డుకోక కూడా ఇటుపక్క కూడా అడ్డుకోక సో ఓకే సో లాస్ట్ టైం వాట్ డిడ్ వి డిస్కస్
Modification team.
Magento to dev docs, right?
Hmm.
And so yeah, we discussed the system requirements. We also went through the installation guide and also the PHP developer guide, right?
Hmm.
Did you guys go through the coding standards?
Coding standards, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And what else did we do? Extension developer best practices.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Done.
Architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Front end developer guide.
Hmm.
Yeah. UI components.
Yeah.
Yeah. JavaScript developer guide.
Hmm.
That's also you guys have studied. Yeah. And what else do we have here?
Admin design pattern library also.
Admin design. Oh, this one. Anything from setup,
Hmm. Setup.
testing, functional areas?
Functional areas.
What did you guys
Catalog services and checkout.
catalog service checkout?
Inventory management.
Yeah, and
Payment services.
payment services,
Yeah, that's it.
order management also,
Order management.
page builder,
Yeah, paying builder. Payment
page
builder.
builder also. Okay, so we are not going to go through, I mean, all the concepts in deeper, but we are going to only, since you guys have already studied, before you plan to apply for Magento developer role, I would suggest to any of you guys who are watching this video, go through the devdocs.magento.com and study all the concepts they have provided here in the top. If your Magento has two different versions, one is community edition and the other one is enterprise edition. Enterprise edition is generally hosted on Adobe Cloud, and yeah, if you want to work with Adobe Cloud, this is something that you need to study into. Other than that, all the features that Magento Cloud provides, I mean the enterprise edition and the community edition provide, most of the features are common, and there are features which differentiate between community edition and enterprise edition. However, the concept is, for example, architecture, PHP developer guide, UI components, coding standards, all of these come together as a common factor between these two editions. So, system requirements, Magento has a specific system requirement to install a certain version, and some of the things which are mandatory that you need to have in your local system to install Magento or Composer. Depending on the type of version, 2.4.6 needs 2.2 version of Composer, and 2.4.7 beta 1 requires a 2.5 version of Composer. So Elasticsearch opens OpenSearch, Elasticsearch you need in Magento 2.4 to have this installed in your local. PHP 8.1 or 8.2 depending on the version number that you're installing. I would say PHP MySQL, MariaDB, Elasticsearch, and Composer. These are the four important things that you need to install and configure to get the store up and running on your local system. And while you are installing, you might face lots of issues with dependencies of php extensions, and you might have to manually write the command to install these extensions. That's pretty much about the overview of the system requirements. And let's see what's there in quick start installation. Installing Magento is quite easy. All you need to do is execute this command in your local system, and the directory is going to be the directory that you're going to install, and maybe on a downloads directory, on a web directory, or documents, pictures, anywhere you want to install Magento. Just right click and open the terminal. For example, I'm in var www.html, and open the terminal, and you just need to execute this command in here, and it will install Magento right away on your system. Prerequisites, as discussed, you need PHP and other dependencies that were mentioned. Apart from that, you need to one server. It could be Apache or Nginx, and clear documentations are given uh, on the installation steps on how to configure Apache or Nginx with uh, Magento. And you need the operating system Linux. Magento supports Linux. Magento does not support Windows. So if you are planning to install Magento, you have to adhere to use Linux operating system. And we go introduction. Magento has two specific modules, that are themes and modules. Are the extensions that a developer develops, and these are placed inside the app code directory, and themes are placed in app design directory. So themes are something which work mostly on the front end. And there is a third directory, I18N, that's language packs. For example, if you need a specific language for your store to run on, then you need to add that language pack in the I18 directory. Yeah, that's a bit intro on that. Coding standards, Magento followed Magento 2 coding standards to uh, make sure you have your codes in Magento coding standard. You need to install the Magento coding standard tool on your project, and you need to execute the code sniffer uh, on that, and that's going to inspect the whole code that you have written and give you the results that these are the things that you need to fix. So if you want that, Magento clearly gives you how to install the coding standard tool and how to make use of that. Best practices, Magento has lots of documentation where when you are developing an extension, you need to follow certain guidelines while writing the codes, and that's something Magento uh, suggest all the extension developers to. ధన్యవాదాలు. Yeah, so yeah, Magento architectural layers. It has different layers. The domain layer, where the business logic is added in a module specific. Persistent layer, which has database activity, and Magento uses a specific model called EAV model, entity attribute value model, for many entities like customer, catalog, and order. And before you start working with Magento, you should understand how EAV works. You should understand how you create new tables into Magento. Magento provides options like DB schema, declarative schema, and that's how you create your previous. In the previous version, we had options to create setup schemas, and now Magento provides a declarative schema to create tables and perform the CRUD operations. Yeah, the presentation layer also has a different, for example, for the front end on the home page, we use the view directory when you develop an extension. However, For the checkout, Magento uses Node, HTML, and JS. While you start working on checkout more, you will understand how Magento renders knockout on the front end. Front end developer guide to understand how the HTML is being passed on the front end, how the CSS is being added, how the JS is being rendered. All of that you can go through this front end developer guide, and you will get a clear view on how to work with the uh, front end part. Mostly the front end part you are going to do. You have to work on the theme at the theme level, and if you're working on your extension, you have to use the view director of your extension. UI components, Magento provides reusable components. Like for example, if you want to pick a date, and you have to use the existing UI component which Magento provides. And such components, there are plenty of components which Magento provides. For example, checkbox, as you can see on the screen, color picker. This color picker, it's quite easy to call this component in your front end or back end, uh, and give the facility to the customer to make use of these UI tools. Yeah, there are plenty of components you can go through one by one, and also we have plenty of examples on how these are being used on different extensions within Magento. JavaScript, uh, you Magento provides a huge JavaScript library, like Fodorama JS is included, jQuery is included, require JS is included, no code is included. How we are going to manage and manipulate the existing core files, Magento gives you clear picture on how to deal with the JavaScripts. In this guide, admin design, like we discussed earlier, the UI components, where we can reuse the components which Magento provides, like uh, having the calendar date picker, sorts of things. In back office also has some options. For example, in a grid, Magento provides, when you place an order and go to back office, you have a sales order grid where you can check your orders, and to check these, to have to manipulate the order grid screen and add further detail into that, you can reuse the components admin design library and extend your sales order grid. Catalog service, Magento provides a catalog where you can add your products from back office, assign categories to it, access the products on the front end, in the product landing pages, in the product listing pages, and you can also search the products. You can add product sliders on different CMS pages, and lots of inbuilt functionalities. But these are the basic things that any user goes through the journey of the purchase. Customized checkout, Magento checkout, customization. Sometime, I mean, what Magento provides is a basic checkout, and if you wanna make changes to this checkout, for example, if you wanna add a store pickup, then you need to do some customization. So to do so, Magento gives you a clear guide on how you can add your additional steps to the checkout. You can just go through and play around with that and practice so that you can develop your own checkout extensions. Payment services, Magento provides a few inbuilt payment services. uh, Magento provides Braintree, COD, uh, PayPal Express Checkout, PayPal Standard Solutions, PayPal Pro Solutions within itself. And if you need a certain payment gateways like Stripe, then you need to purchase the extension. I think Stripe provides a Magento's supported extension for free if you are subscribed to that. That's that. So yeah, let's. We have installed Magento on our local system, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna. This is the path. Currently, I'm using Apache server on it. I'm on Magento 2.4.4 version. So I'm gonna execute this command. This is my local, so I'm using the sudo command. But however, when you're working on live servers, this strictly strongly suggests not to use the sudo command. Could not validate the open search. I think the Elasticsearch is currently turned up. Let me turn the Elasticsearch on. Sudo service Elasticsearch status connected. Start. Yep, that's now up and running. Let's execute the upgrade commands again. So let's kill Magento. This is my local. Let me open the project in an editor. So let me take you through the different directories Magento provides and the major and important directories. The most important directory is uh, the app directory, and yeah, and design directory where we create our themes. The other directory is the vendor has all the different extensions that we install as a third party using the composer, and inside vendor there is a directory called Magento, and this is the directory where Magento has its code base. All the Magento extensions are uh, available here. For example, Magento login as a customer, this is the module, and the naming convention is as module hyphen login hyphen as hyphen customer. Magento module hyphen PayPal. So when you create this extension in vendor, that should be as Magento underscore PayPal. So after module hyphen, whatsoever you see is the module name, and the vendor is always Magento in the Magento directory. Let's see if we are through the deployment. Yeah, the deployment is completed. Let me refresh. Yep, we have our front end here. Let me log in into the admin. No orders. This is where when an order from the front end is placed, you can see the order on the back office. So let me see if I have a test bullet. I don't have any product. I haven't installed the sample data. So yeah. So what we are going to practice today are first thing that is, let's note this down. We are going to create a module, and render a phtml on front end, then override a core template on front end. Then we are going to uh, register a new database table using our module. Yeah, these are four different steps that we are going to do today: create and register a module. Then we are going to create a theme, create a theme and register, change a theme file, change a luma theme file, and override in custom theme. Yeah, these are the things that we are going to practice today, and let's let's start developing our extension. So when you develop an extension, you need two important files. First one is the registration.php. I'm just going to copy that, and the custom extensions are placed inside app code. Then you need to create your vendor. So vendor, for example, let me add my name kill, and the module name first module. Yeah. Now I'm gonna create a file registration.php. I'm gonna add this content. So I'm gonna change the name of the module. That's going to be AQUIL underscore first module. Yeah. The second file that we need to create to register a module is direct etc, then a file module.xml. Yeah. Now the module.xml file you can get from any core modules. There should be a module.xml file in the Magento catalog module. Yeah, there you go. Just copy that and paste in here. I'm going to remove the sequences. We will discuss about the sequences later. And I'm gonna rename this module to my module name, kill underscore first module. So this registration name here of your extension should be exactly the one that's there on the registration page. So what we are going to do now, we are going to hit the command on the console, module status bin / Magento space module status. This gives you the list of modules which have been uh, enabled and disabled. The modules at the top are list of enabled modules, and the modules in the bottom here are the list of disabled modules. So our module we haven't registered, so it is currently in the disabled module. So what now? How can we enable the module? So what we need to do, first we need to do the setup upgrade. As soon as we do the setup upgrade, it creates the module registration in the module database table, and it automatically enables the module by default. Module status again, I can see that module is now in enabled list. I'm gonna do full deployment just to be just to be sure that we have all files in place. Yeah. So while that runs in background, so we have discussed that we are going to place our custom HTML somewhere here on the page, on the home page, sign in page, create account page, any page. So how do we do that? We have Magento. The most important thing with Magento is it has a vast community. So if you want to do anything, first you need to uh, go to Google and just search for the keywords. So what I need to create my PHTML file and show it on front end. So what I'm going to type is Magento to create PHTML template, and for all the articles, let's try the first one, rendering our HTML file. There are different ways to render, one with controller, one with default.xml file, having your custom routes. So so in this they have created their own controller path. For example, this is the home page. So if you need a custom path like uh, my custom page, that's going to show you 404. But if you want that to work and show some certain content on that when someone accesses this link, you need to follow the controller way of rendering your PHTML. So create PHTML template and add to default.xml. So what the default.xml does is it adds your custom template to this layout here, and you need to specify should the template be rendered on the header or the content or the footer. So I'm gonna close this tab, then open this one here.